Assalamu alaikum guys. Today we are going to learn a new concept of linear dependent sources. So far in the previous lectures we were dealing with the independent sources. For example, the source was a current source or a voltage source. It was dependent. If it is, for example, 5 volts, it is just 5 volts. It cannot change its value and it does not depend on any other on any other parameter. But in this lecture we are going to learn new concept of dependent sources. What are dependent sources? We will see shortly. First we will see what are active devices. Active devices or active circuits. Active devices are those devices which depend on external source, that requires external source and external power supply to operate correctly, and the circuits that have active devices are called active circuits. These circuits are used for signal amplification. Signal amplification is a very important concept in electrical engineering. We at lot of places we have to amplify our signals that are very small in quantity, in milliamperes or in millivolts. We want to amplify them, so these type of devices, these type of circuits are used to amplify our signals. Operational amplifiers and transistor, for example, these are the active devices that require some external source. For example, transistor, it is a three-terminal device. It requires an external signal to operate between these 2 points. So these type of devices are called active devices that require some external source to operate correctly. So what are dependent sources? Dependent sources depend on some external signal. For example, there can be a current controlled current source. We will represent our dependent sources with the diamond shape. As in the previous lecture we represented our independent sources with the circle with the arrow or plus minus sign for voltage source, but dependent sources will be represented using a diamond shape. So this can be a current controlled voltage source, and this voltage, for example, it will be, for example, if the current flowing in this source circuit is I1, then the voltage of this current controlled voltage source will be I1R. Similarly, there can be a current controlled current source. So the value of this current source will be beta I1. Similarly, there can be voltage controlled sources, for example, voltage controlled voltage source or voltage controlled current source. For example, this is a voltage controlled voltage source, and the value of the voltage will be mu times V1. And similarly, voltage controlled current source, it will be G times V1. This is also V1. So these are for circuits represent our system. For example, Y as an input with a K as a parameter of and X as input. Y is our output, K is proportionality constant, and X is our input. In the previous lecture when we studied proportionality constant, we said this k will be less than 1. But in this case, it can be greater than 1 because here it is amplifying our signal. These are the parameters R, beta, mu and G. These are the gain of our circuits. These are the K. These are the proportionality constant of our circuits. We will call them as the gain of our circuit. In these four gains, beta and mu, these are dimensionless quantities. Because this is a current controlled current source. Here beta is dimensionless. It is a current controlled current device. Beta will be a simple number, will be a scalar number. Similarly, in voltage controlled voltage or mu will be a dimensionless scalar value. But in current controlled voltage source, the gain is R, which is resistance. We will call this resistance as trans resistance and its unit will be ohm. And similarly, in voltage controlled current device, G is called the trans conductance. This is trans conductance. So this is a current controlled voltage source. We can write it current controlled voltage source. This is current controlled current source. This is voltage controlled voltage source, and this is voltage controlled current source. This is G is the transconductance, and the units of G is equal to 1 over R, and the units are Siemens. Now we will see the circuit analysis of dependent sources. In the previous lecture we studied analysis of circuits with independent sources, but those techniques can also be used in dependent sources, but in this case we will have to be very careful with these two things. This is the controlling signal and this is the control device. So we will be very careful about these two things while using the previous techniques. So we will solve this example. The voltage over here V0, this is the output voltage. We will solve this example to understand the concept of circuit, how we will solve these circuits that contain dependent sources. We want to find the proportionality constant K V0 over Vs. So first of all we will find V0, the output voltage. For that we can use VDR. So V0 will be equal to RL divided by RC plus RL multiplied by the source voltage, that is. So the second thing is this voltage source has opposite polarity, so we will use minus mu Vx. Most of the time we will be very careful with these signs because many control devices invert the signal. So they can be also used for the inversion purpose. So we will be very careful with these signs. So here it will be minus mu Vx. Now we want to find the value of Vx. So this is Vs, this is Rs. We can write KVL equation for this loop. So Vs minus Vs plus Is Rs plus Vx is equal to 0. Because this is an open circuit and no current is flowing through this resistance, so this term will be equal to 0. So Vs will be equal to Vx. We can put this over here. So V0 will be equal to RL over RC plus RL multiplied by minus mu Vs. So to find K, we need V0 over Vs. So we will divide this term with Vs. So RL multiplied by minus mu Vs divided by RC plus RL divided by Vs. So this Vs will be cancelled with this one. So RL mu divided by RC plus RL. This is the proportionality constant K. So what is the purpose of this dependent source? This dependent source will amplify our input signal Vx or Vs. If the signal is very big, this will be a very high signal because of this proportionality constant. It can be in 1000, in 5000 times or 50,000 times. So these circuits are used to amplify our input signals. Similarly, we can see no current is flowing over here, so no power is being delivered from this source. Because no current is flowing, the power delivered from the source will be zero, and we are getting power over here. So from where this power is coming? This power is coming from this dependent source. This dependent source has a power supply that is not shown in the circuit, but it requires the power supply to run. It will just take this signal, and to amplify this signal it will use its power supply, because of which it is called dependent source. So without using any power from the source circuit, we are getting power over here. But this is not the violation of law of conservation of energy, because there is a hidden source in this dependent source, so that it is using the power from that source to amplify this signal. This is another example, and this is a current controlled current device. The dependent source is a current controlled current source, and we want to find the K P output beta P input. We want to find this ratio. For this purpose, we need to find the input current and input voltage. So input current can be found using CDR, because these two resistances are in parallel. So I0 will be equal to, the value of these resistances is 300 and 500 ohms. So we can apply a CDR. So to find the current from this resistance, we will be using this formula. I0 will be equal to 300 divided by 300 plus 500 multiplied by 48 times Ix. Actually this will be 40. Iy is flowing from this, so that will be Iy, and then we can replace Iy with Iy is equal to minus 48 times Ix. So we can put this value over here. So it will come 300 over 8 Iy. This will be 300, this will be 800. So the overall that will be I0 will be equal to 3 over 8 Iy. Similarly, the controlling signal is Ix. So to put Ix over here, we need to find Ix. Ix will be equal to, we can also use CDR over here. So 50 divided by 50 plus 25 multiplied by Is. So it will be 50 divided by 75 multiplied by Is. So it will come by reduction 2 over 3 times Is. This is Ix. So I0 is equal to 3 over 8. Iy is equal to minus 48, so minus 48 Ix. And Ix is equal to 2 over 3 times Is, so 2 over 3 times Is. This was minus 48 Ix, but I have replaced Ix with its value, that is this. So this 3 can be cancelled with this, 2 4 times and 4 12. So it will come minus 12 Is is equal to I0. This is the value of output current. Now we want to find the output voltage. So we have the current, we have the resistance, so V naught will be equal to I naught multiplied by R. So 500 is the resistance multiplied by the I naught is equal to minus 12 IS. So it will come minus 6000 IS. So there is a minus also because of this voltage current controlled current source, because its direction is downward direction in the downward. So be very careful with these directions, because most of the time these controlled devices are also inverting our input signal, so they can also be used to invert our signal. So V naught is equal to this, so P output will be equal to I naught multiplied by V naught. So I naught is minus 12 IS multiplied by minus 6000 IS. It will come 72,000 IS square. This is our output power. Now we will find our input power. Input power will be equal to, these two resistances are in parallel, so we can use the formula P input will be equal to I square R. R will be R equivalent, so I square means IS square input current, and R equivalent of these two resistance will be 50 divided by, will be equal to the parallel combination of 25 and 50. We can find the parallel combination of 25 and 50 using the formula 50 parallel 25. So 50 multiplied by 25 divided by 75. So it will come 50, 25 5 times 125, 0 divided by 75. So this can be reduced using the multiple of 25. 25 3 times 75, 25 5 times 125 with a 0. So it will be 50 over 3 multiplied by IS square. This is the input power. Now we want to find P naught over I naught, P naught over Pi. So this is our input power, this is our output power. We will divide these two terms and we will find our desired answer. So P naught is equal to minus 72,000 IS square divided by P input is equal to 50 divided by 3 IS square. This will be cancelled with this one. So 0 will be cancelled with this. 5 1 are 5, 5 2 are 10, 22, 4, 4. So, and this 3 will multiply by this, so 440 multiplied by 3, 0, 12, 13. So P naught over Pi will be this. And it will be minus. So I hope now you will have understand how to solve the circuits that contain dependent sources in the circuits. In the next lecture we will see how to apply node voltage analysis, current mesh analysis, and Thevenin equivalent circuits of those circuits that include dependent sources in them. So see you in the next lecture. Thank you.